What's up, everybody? This is Mark from Team Prime Time coming at you with some standard content today. We are playing the deck I am probably going to be registering for the regional championship in San Diego. Grixis mid range is the bread and butter. I mean, it's close to 20% of the metagame in most of the regional championships, but I think that's because it's highly flexible, it's highly adaptable. And I'm just going to go over some of the card choices. I'm going to start with the real crappers, the cards I've tried, and like I thought maybe they could break the deck, but they really just didn't do anything. So you have a Capricious Hellraiser. I thought this card would be really sweet. You could fill up the graveyard with Corpse Appraiser and Fable the Mirror Breaker, and just casting removal spells pretty generically early in the game. Um, and I just kind of hoped that you could, hidden invoke despair and get a lot of value here. But this ends up being a 6 mana 4/4 flyer that sometimes hits something cool and sometimes doesn't, so it's pretty lame. So we're gonna cut it. Kaido Dancing Shadow. I thought this card was sweet. Um, the +1, just getting to basically freeze out one of your opponent's biggest threats, and then just keep attacking and rebuying creatures over and over again. Like rebuying Corpse Appraiser is awesome. Blood Tithe Harvester is awesome. A Reckoner Bankbuster that's out of counters is awesome. So all of that I thought was really cool. But at the end of the day, it's a 4 mana planeswalker that pluses to 4, usually the first turn you have it. Really bad in a meta where every deck has vehicles, and yeah, it just got attacked down a lot. I didn't like it that much, so we cut it. And this is the card that I was probably in love with the most, and it didn't end up playing out that well. Urtai, having a counter spell on a body, I wanted to think this card was like Venser, but they do get to draw a card. Sometimes that card's very good. But this card didn't really end up making the cut, and it was also really contesting the spot that I needed for the third Shieldred. So we cut this one. We have the Blade Coral Serpent here. It's kind of a high end. Um, Spell Pierce is kind of an experimental card, but I like this in a lot of matchups. It's good against mono white. It's good in the Grixis Mirror. You just get a lot of value here, and the regional championship is an open decklist tournament. So just registering one of these does buy you some value in your opponent really having to respect it and play around it. Um, Grixis is good because all the cards are good. Go for the third, kills just about everything. Blood Tithe Harvester has a ton of value. Bank Buster is just good to generate value through a grindy game. I could go on and on about Fable the Mirror Breaker. This card's amazing. Corpse Appraiser is awesome at helping you continue to generate value and sift through the bad cards in your deck. So when you hit something, on like turn 5, and you see 2 lands and a spell, well, you probably don't need that. Either of those lands, so you take the spell and you just keep on churning. Kaido is a game breaker. Just getting to plus every turn, just keep attacking, and also defends itself the first turn by phasing out. So you usually get to activate this thing twice. Getting to sometimes you make the ninja the first turn. Oftentimes you're able to attack and then play it. So this is really good. I have a second one in the sideboard because on the play having Kaido is just pretty insane. The mana base is pretty much a response to the mono white 8 field deck. You kind of have to have 5 basics. This is also really good against the Razor Last Transmogrant. If you have basics in play, it's a lot harder for them to bring it back. So you really don't have to have that many answers to it. The 4 Xander's Lounge is, of course, a must, and then most of the mana base is just here to really not do damage. I'm back and forth over whether these Sulphurous Springs should probably be, a 4th Haunted Ridge, 4th Blackleaf Cliffs, but that's kind of a spot for debate. Post board in a lot of games, especially on the draw, you can cut all the Blood Tithe Harvesters and become an interesting Grixis control deck. So having more counter spells is good. Siphon Insight is insane in mid range matchups where you just steal their good things, and this is a good 2-for-1 to have. Anoint with Affliction was a 4th cut down, but if your opponent ever flips a wedding announcement, cut down's not very good. Anoint with Affliction can still be Soul Transfer, great against mono white. Any deck with planeswalkers this can come in, and sometimes you get to use both modes when you have a Fable of the Mirror Breaker and any of the multitude of artifacts that this deck makes. Grixis Command is a great sweeper that's modal, and you can do a few more things with it against like Esper midrange or the Esper Legends deck. Invoke Despair is not very good. Grixis Command can come in and give you a sweeper that can also get you a lot of value, and a second Blade Coral Serpent for the really grindy matchup. Brotherhood's End comes in when you need a sweeper. I think that is all the explanation this deck really needs. It's a pretty well-known commodity. So we're going to play it through a few matches and really just see how it continues to play. This is just a practice session of mine, and I'm going to narrate through a lot of my decision-making processes. And if you have any feedback, be sure to comment, let me know. But as always, like, comment, subscribe, and shout out Team Primetime on social media, Twitter, Instagram. We love hearing from y'all, so I hope y'all enjoy the video. Let's see what my opponent is on. We're on the draw, and this doesn't really have the answers you would want to have on the draw, but the mana curves out really nicely. Having 3 lands is good. I think I'm comfortable keeping this. We know we're going to play all untapped lands, so that feels kind of good. Okay, we might be in a mirror here. If we're in the mirror, this is having both Invoke Despairs in hand is good. Okay, this might not be the mirror. This could be. This is Esper Legends. I think I'd rather have Blood Tide Harvester here. This is an interesting curve out if they haven't had a creature yet. Vraska's Fall. Okay, this is a probably Esper Poison deck. In that case, we're going to want to play a Bank Buster, and then I'll hold up Spell Pierce here. No one plays around the Spell Pierce, so I'll probably get him on something. Nice. Okay. Not doing anything. Haunted Ridge, and hopefully we will get to make our land drop. Experimental Augury, I think we can let this resolve. Don't really want to counter the first thing. When you let them look at the top 3 and make a decision, but we're probably looking at something that they can then counter. They might have taken another one. Okay, so this is just a regular card, but I still think countering this so I don't get the poison counter is good. So we'll do this, and if I draw and don't hit what I want, I'll probably loot with the blood counter. This go for the third's not really doing a whole lot for me. Okay. Now there's a hard counter that my opponent has at 3 mana. Okay, it seems that they have missed a land drop. Let's do this, because this go for the third's not going to be very good. Okay, cut down, also, I wouldn't consider very good. Let's fire out a Bank Buster. If they have counter spells, I want to go ahead and use them on things that are not shielded. Okay. Nothing to do there. And me not playing into creatures probably deals with some of the removal in their hand. Okay. Yeah, 1 mana draw 2 is very good. Okay, let's go ahead and keep pulling counters off of this Bank Buster. Okay, made a land drop. We're going to make a land drop here, so that's good. Fire enough Invoke Despair will not get me anywhere, so I think I'm content to just draw 2 cards here. Okay, let's share that can resolve. This is gonna be one of those matchups where we board into really just kind of being a bad control deck, I think. But okay, this is fine. We've got full grip into full grip here. Okay. Now we maybe just get there by attacking with Bank Busters, so we'll see. Or if my opponent is going to use some removal. Okay. Let's see what's going to happen here. Okay. So we have a Kaido. Let's. Cool. If I can get my opponent to use some removal here. Okay, that's just going to exile this. I think that's fine. So Kaido only checks to see that I attacked, not like how many things I attacked with, or if I did combat damage. So I think I can try to play Kaido, and if Kaido doesn't resolve, I will play Shieldred. Actually, I can just try to resolve 2 Shieldreds here. We might have another Anoint with Affliction. Let's actually just go for the Kaido here. If they counter this, we'll play the Shieldred. Okay, so here's their counter. Right, resolve. So now let's put the Shieldred into play. Force them to have an answer for this here. Okay. We could maybe turn the corner. I don't know how much gas they have in hand. Maybe they're holding a lot of lands, but we've seen. Okay, this is interesting. Gonna have to turn Shieldred into a treasure here. Seems fine. No abilities though. Alright, so okay, but I drew another Shieldred, so that's good. I think. I want to kill Vraska, and Invoke Despair can do that. So I think I'm content to probably play Swamp. Cast the Invoke Despair. We got that. I don't think we need to draw any more cards, so I'm gonna crew. And then anybody have any creatures? Do I have any creatures in grave? I do. I can Corpse Appraiser, and that's probably the most value I'm gonna get. So let's just do that. Let's exile my Blood Tithe Harvester, and we're gonna get. Let's get Fable. Yeah. And full grip. Points of 8. Let's see if they can. These Bank Busters might be able to help me get the distance here. Okay. Gonna draw cards. Okay. Go 6. Man, having Shieldred on board would be disgusting. Okay, cool. So, this Esper Toxic deck it's a little interesting. So cards that aren't very good. Braid, I don't think is very good. Cut downs are seemingly terrible. I didn't see any creatures, but I should assume that they maybe don't play any. The only expensive spell I believe that my opponent had was Betrayal Sting. Everything else is not in range with Stampede Stroke, so I really want to bring that in. The rest could be good though. I'm going to draw, which means kind of not as good. Siphon Insights seem pretty decent though. I believe nothing else is that great. I think the one Blade Coal Serpent can just stay. Grixis command, I think their removal exiles my creatures, so it's not as good. So I'm content to run this way. Let's see, Llanowar Snail. I'm gonna see if Siphon Insight can find me some gas. Because we have lands, we have a negate, which isn't terrible. So in Grixis, I actually think I'm okay to keep like high land count hands because hitting land drops is more important than anything, and I know that I'm only a 25 land deck. There will be more gas. Oh man, the Spell Pierce. I'm gonna Island Go just to hold up the Spell Pierce, I think. I think my opponent will probably do things at instant speed. They did not see the Spell Pierce go. Okay, cool. Yep, let's just Spell Pierce this. Probably looking to hit like Invoke Despairs out of my deck. Blackleaf Cliffs. Okay, so here we go. I mean, we drew a land when we really didn't want to land there, but I think we're probably doing okay. Okay, let's play the Darkslick Shores. Probably gonna cycle this Xander's Lounge. Okay, that's on 4 mana. They might prologue to Pheresis. I think we're not gonna cycle yet. I think we're gonna go Haunted Ridge, and I think I'm content to pass here. I don't want to play anything until I can also hold up Negate. Okay, my opponent has missed a land drop here, so I think we still just go my turn. Right. Stormcarved Coast. I think we're gonna play the Fable here. Okay, and then let it resolve. I like that. Okay, I'm just gonna sack this creature and get a poison counter. I think that's fine. I'm more so interested in the loot function here, so maybe now you have to spend mana to cycle this. Okay, well that's really good. Only gets better. Let's loot these two away. Okay, I got a Corpse Appraiser and a Negate. Let's do this. I do not yet have the ability to get anything out of Corpse Appraiser, so I think I'm just going to hold up infinite counter spells and just pass the turn. I don't think I want my opponent to have a choice of what cards they're going to see. I think I might probably just counter that one too. Or, yeah, you know what? Let's negate this one. Then I still have a negate. So my opponent is left with cards that they didn't choose in hand. Okay. I think here I probably just try to go for the Invoke Despair and have my negate up. Okay. Drawn cards. Drawn Blade Coil Serpent was sick. That was gas. Okay. So 5 mana, deal 6, draw 3. It's not the flashiest thing I've ever done, but not bad. Okay. Wonder if I can just counter this. Because if they've blown so much to... Okay, so they've blown basically everything to get my Reflection of the Mirror Breaker off the board. Kind of want to just know what this last card is. Okay, cool, gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just put Shieldred into play. And then next turn we can slam this Blade Coil Serpent and really close the door, I think. Okay, cool. There we go. That's a match one that really showed the game kind of turning. And I don't think you can really expect to beat Grixis with a reactive game plan. Like the deck really just does so much on its own. Let's say this because I got to be on the play this round, so that's really good. And we got a no-lander, so that is an easy mulligan. And now we've got lands, we've got some spells. I think I'm good to keep here, and Shieldred's a must answer, so I'm going to put the Invoke Despair back and hope that these cards do something. Got some Lord Xander Sleeves, those are very cool. Okay, so we have another Dimir land. Okay, so we're in the mirror. A lot of Dimir decks are very light on counter spells now. Well, my opponent might have Make Disappear. Some of the lists are only playing 2. But I'm going to play, so I'm kind of content to just make them have it and hope they're only holding up a removal spell. Okay, so we see the Make Disappear there. Got it. I didn't play a creature into that, so I mean, usually the play might be to have a... Okay. What we're going to do here is... Just going to cut that down. And then, what's sad, so in the Grixis mirror, missing your land drops is pretty much a nightmare. And here I am just holding a bunch of removal spells, so we'll see how it goes. They've pitched a cut down and an Underground River, since they probably had another land. We might see land Shieldred here. Okay, tapped land, so we're not seeing Shieldred. Okay, so we have another Okay, well, let's see if there's another counter spell. Okay, we see the cycle land. Got you. So my opponent was on a little bit of a flood, I think. Okay. Do we see Invoke Despair here? Okay, we do. They're gonna get to draw one. So it's not the end of the world. We're gonna draw a card. Still missing that blue land. I think we're gonna buy a little time here. Just kill this. And oh, I killed that before I even got to my main phase. Huh. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Okay, another. I just happen to be holding every cut down in my deck, so this is just pretty funny. I've drawn them all. Okay, we're on here. My opponent, I have seen no go for the throats out of my opponent. But they are about to loot, so I might get a lot out of playing Shieldred here. Okay, what's this card? It's got to be the make Scatter Ray. Okay, that's interesting. I've seen some lists play like one of these. That's one Shieldred down. Okay, we're gonna see their Corpse Appraiser. They put a creature in the graveyard for that. Even though they didn't have to do that, they could have just exiled my Shieldred. But now if I draw a blue land, I can hit that one. Okay, we put creature land. Okay. Another Corpse Appraiser. Okay. So there's still a creature for me to hit. They're really sculpting their hand here. Okay. Wow, I'm just missing on everything. I know my opponent has the Scatter Ray. That's pretty interesting. It's a very specific, much better than Mana Leak. Okay. My opponent was looking at a lot of mana here. I just count my lands, buying time. Doing a little counting. Okay, this is I think I'm gonna just concede this game here. That's I'm not gonna come back from that. But okay, so we're here in the mirror. Cut downs are bad. I'm gonna play, so I definitely don't want to bring in a Kaido. Blade Coil is good. All these cards are pretty good. A Braid is mid. I've seen a one go for the third cut in this matchup a lot. 57 cards. I need to bring in a few more. I like both Siphon Insights, and I think I'm pretty good to bring in. So they're gonna play around, make disappear. Let's go down to 1. I'm actually good to cut all the make disappears for negates, and we'll bring in probably a Soul Transfer. It's just good and it kind of hits everything. Let's do that. Yeah, I think I am good to submit this list. Did my opponent see the Spell Pierce game 1? No. Okay, good. Just making sure they didn't see it. But they saw it on my board out of it. But we will see how this goes here. Missing those land drops really killed me in game 1. Gotta make a hard comeback here. I'll play. We have lands, we have spells. This curve kind of rocks, so yeah, I think I'm good with this. We just have to make our land drops and hope it works. But I mean, 3 lands, 3 spells that we can cast with those 3 lands. It's pretty great. I think we can just kind of follow our curve here. We can go Harvester, Fable, Shieldred, depending on what lands they keep up. Okay, so it chooses to do nothing. I think my opponent chooses to do nothing, I might want to believe that they have good interaction here. I will also choose to do nothing. Okay, so they use their braid. I think I will. They might want to go a braid into Corpse Appraiser, but I actually think that's okay here. If they tap out for Corpse Appraiser, I'll just play Fable. Look at their Fable. Okay, I'll negate Fable. You shouldn't let your opponent's Fables resolve. That's definitely how you go about losing the game, I would say. They're gonna have answers for Shieldred. They might, honestly, if they have to answer Shieldred, then it's also the most mana efficient play. I should just deploy it. Let's see how this goes. Alright, so they took their draw step, didn't set a stop in their upkeep, so they might not have an answer for it. They might have the Blood Tithe Harvester. That's not a Shieldred. They might be holding up and Make Disappear. So I don't want to really play into that. I think I'm good to play the Sulphur Springs. I will play my Fable. Okay, they have a hard counter, so we'll just let them have that. I think we fire off here. We'll let them block if they want, but either way, it takes board presence off the field. If they invoke me here, glad I didn't play one of my Invoke Despairs into that though. If they invoke me, I just invoked them right back. Okay, that seems fine. I'm just gonna fire off. I'm just gonna fire off 3 Invoke Despairs back to back to back, maybe. Yeah, let's just play the Xander's Notch. If I can just kill them with 3 Invoke Despairs, that might be the funniest thing I've ever done. Okay, Bank Buster. I don't think I want to fire off the Invoke here. So here I'll just Corpse Appraise. Make Disappear. Resolve. I will pay the 2. If I get multiple counter spells out of their hand, this would be very interesting, but I think they're going to go for the draw here. Yeah. Hit Blood Tithe. What can I get here? I think we absolutely get my own Bank Buster. And I think I'm good to make this land drop. And they're going to draw a card. Yeah. I still think I have good tools. I think I have very good tools here. Okay, they've just had to expend mana to answer that. Because their main phase is drawing a card. I think I like that. See, 1 negate, 1 Make Disappear here. Okay, well now I know that I can do this with a negate backup, so I'm just going to do that. Spell Pierce. Does my opponent have double Spell Pierce? I could just pay 2. Just gonna pay 2. Oh, so yeah, my opponent doesn't have double. That would just be wild. When he plays Haunted Ridge, I will probably loot this away there instead. Okay, so now I know my opponent has Spell Pierce, which is now something I can play around. Invoke Despair deals 1 damage here. Okay, drawing. Invoke Despair does 2 damage here still, which is good. But I think let's go to my turn, and I think what I'm supposed to do is try to jam this Blade Coil Serpent for red gives it trample, so let's go black, 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 black. I need to hit can play us through negate. I want to be able to have my negate up, but I want to take their last cards at the same time. Say X is 0. Yeah, there we go. Blade Coil Serpent very good in the matchup, especially since I saw their one negate. Their go for the thirds are pretty much dead cards. All right, so on the draw, this is the trick here. So you end up cutting a lot of things. So we actually, from my dear friend and mentor and idol Andre Mengucci, or maybe actually a lot of people have been cutting Blood Tithe Harvesters. Like on the draw, you just cut them all, and I think that's interesting. So if you cut all those, then you have 6 cards to bring in. I think you could bring the Make Disappears back. I like a Duress. You could probably play a Disdainful Stroke. Probably both Disdainful Strokes. I mean, we're going to try to throw big 6-mana spells back at each other. So bring that in, and I would actually bring in the second Blade Coil Serpent, because if 1 is good, 2's just got to be better, right? So we'll keep these cards in, and we'll just see how this goes. One Soul Transfer. Do I want that over? I want a second Soul Transfer, because I can answer Blade Coil Serpent. I might take that over this Make Disappear. I like the Spell Pierce in the draw, though. It's actually better on the play, but both these cards are better on the play. But I'm good with where we're at here. It's going to be interesting to see if this sideboard control deck strategy works. Edgar Magash did this for the Canadian RC, and I actually really liked it. He had 2 more Siphon Insights than I had. Okay, if I hit a 3rd land drop, this is probably gas. I don't know if my opponent boarded out of the things I would want to go for the 3rd, though. But Blade Coil Serpent in a hand with 2 lands is probably bad. So okay, this is probably okay. Do this, I'll put Invoke Despair back. We're going to make our land drops. Always be making land drops. We'll just have no reason to play into my opponent's stuff. That's probably okay, that's fine. I'm actually content here to answer back with my Fable, because if their goal is to actually both of our goals can kind of be to just cast and Invoke Despair, so we're gonna see if that's what my opponent's goal is to do. Okay, go Blue Sun's Twilight. Okay, my opponent is on some fun stuff over here. I played around with this card a little bit. Okay, so this is 5 mana. I'm going to say no blocks, because either way this saves me 2 damage from Invoke Despair and a card, which is definitely worth something. Liliana of the Veil. Definitely not what I expected. Discards a card? Probably the second Bank Buster. Okay. I actually want to loot away Sanders Lounge. Like, actually, I'll loot away the Dark Slick Shores. I would like an untapped land, so maybe I need to loot away both to get the Invoke Despair. I'm very scared that I'm just not going to hit the land I need. But, probably just good to go for it. Okay, and I missed. It happens. I think I still probably go for Liliana here. Spell Pierce is fine. But yeah, I think I can Fable and then hold up Spell Pierce. I think this is fine. Like, I actually, in a cheeky way, get Invoke Despair next turn. Maybe if it's their goal to cast theirs. Maybe they don't play around my Spell Pierce. Okay. I think Liliana hasn't been activated yet. They actually can pay for Spell Pierce now, Just silly. So I'm just not going to block. Okay. I think I just let that resolve. So it's going to be, I think I want the one that is going to flip. So we'll sacrifice this one. So 5 mana, they get a couple things, draw 2. I have to discard a card. Let's discard. I think Spell Pierce is bad now. If it didn't work that one turn, it's just not going to work. So it has not hit a creature that I can use yet. That's. I just think I'm going to go for the threat here. Let's hit the Lily. I want the Edict. There's no creatures, so they really turned into like a control deck. Okay, and sure. I think I will bend the Corpse Appraiser on the plus here. Braid, okay. Okay, they're gonna try to defend Lily here, so I think I could just go for it. Go trade. Let's Sulphurous Springs. Let's see if my opponent has the counterspell. Other than 1 card, what are the chances? No, the chances are good. Chances are good. Okay. But I have a draw engine in play. They have a discard engine in play. I'm gonna draw 2 cards a turn. It seems fine. They're just discarding cards to themselves, which is weird. Just say next. I'll eventually find something. Okay. I'll just let that resolve. Don't want to plus into a Lily discard. Activate. Okay, we got a Corpse Appraiser. I can hit my own Corpse Appraiser and dig deep. Make Disappear is not very good. Not at this point in the game. Not when I have a Disdainful Stroke. I kind of want to make the land drop. So let's do this. And do I crew? Make them trade? I think so. Okay. So that means the next card has to be gas. They're just going to discard and draw something random. Okay. What do we got here? What do we got? Okay, well now I want to know what this card is. Okay. Got me. Got me. Alright. Insert. Okay. Fable Flips. I've not seen a Siphon Insight yet. I'm about 20 cards deep, so I'm hoping I can kind of see one soon. Let's activate. See if we can keep a good card. We're gonna discard this. Soul Transfer, I think. I don't have an enchantment and an artifact, which stinks because I could get the Corpse Appraiser back, but I think we are better off just exiling Lily. Unless my opponent drew another counterspell, which would be impressive. Okay. Okay. I see. So I've seen negate the Stanful Stroke. And my opponent has certainly drawn some stuff. There's heater after heater. Okay. But now I'm going to have the Bank Buster. Discard this mountain. We'll be done drawing cards. My 3-drop, no whammy. Second Bank Buster, okay. It's pretty interesting. Okay, well, they're gonna lose the Lily now. So we're gonna crew. Either gonna lose Lily or they're gonna lose the Reflection. They're choosing to lose the Reflection here. Okay, interesting choice. Without Harvester, that can crew a Bank Buster. Okay, discard a Disdainful Stroke. I really need one of my cards that draws a card. That'd be pretty great. Okay, so drawing. That is not a magic card, so crew. Just gonna have to maybe make them trade off that Bank Buster for mine. Liliana has proven to be a very interesting card in this matchup. Okay, down to 1. I'm gonna hold this Black Leaf Glyphs so I can discard it to Lily. Okay. Alright. I also know that I have 2 Blade Coil Serpents. Wow, okay. Okay. I'd really just be trading my Bank Buster for maybe the Bank Buster. I still think I'm supposed to crew. Like, I've seen none of my good card draw here. Maybe Kaido would have been even good on the draw here. See if we get a crew, Bank Buster. No? Okay, I'm gonna get the pilot. Okay. I still think they're not out of the game. Definitely not out of the game. Oh no. Honestly, I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Let's discard the Stroke, because negate can at least counter Fable. I think if I don't draw anything good here, I probably concede. And that is what looks like nothing good. Dang. Okay. Get to be on the play. Let's see, we have 4 lands. Make this beer. I think the hand's great. Kaido on the play is excellent. Let's play the Dark Slick Shores. Okay, mono white. Okay, this isn't mono white. This is maybe it's mono white, but that's definitely a weird card to have in mono white. Interesting. I feel that I don't know if I want to hold Make Disappear or get Bank Buster going, but I feel like if my curve goes Make Disappear Kaido, then I think I'm just gonna hold it Make Disappear for whatever they do this turn. Okay, this is green white toxic. Interesting. Okay, so and they play nothing, which I hate that. I wonder if I just continue to just not play the Kaido then. Just set up to make disappear. Trying 3 of my 5 basics. That's interesting so far. Okay. Let's see Merrick's. Okay, that's a good make disappear target. We don't need that in our lives here. Okay. So we got this is actually interesting. I think I want to cut this down. So nothing good's going on there, and swamp. Let's make a ninja. Let's see if I can start getting value out of this. Okay, this Contaminator. Okay. So Kaido's certainly probably gonna die. Unless I see removal spell, which I don't. But I can find removal spell by hitting this Contaminator. I don't hit a removal spell, but I do hit a Fable that I'm going to turn off being able to play. Or I put the Blood Tide Harvester on the field, and I think I'm pretty keen to put the Blood Tide Harvester on the field, even though, you know what? Okay, I could put Bankbuster down and just trade it off, so that the second Bankbuster might actually be the right choice. So I'm going to play this Bankbuster. I think I might just be able to trade it with the Blue Contaminator and keep Kaido for another turn. It might be the best thing this card does. Okay, so I want to crew. And I want to go to blocks. They have a way to save the... Oh, okay, they're just going to... Okay. Well, Kaido lives. That's nice. Oh, no, it doesn't. It's trample. No! Wow, that's brutal. I think we... Probably full send. I'm going to play the Shieldred. And I'm going to play another Bankbuster. This one I intend to use. My opponent has also missed land drops, which is definitely in my favor. And I don't think I'm trading the Shieldred for anything. They'd have to have an actual removal spell here. Second Blue Contaminator is kind of gross. My turn. Okay, we're going to draw. We're against some life here. I'd like to go to combat. The ninja can't be blocked, so let's just do that. Don't even think I want to play this land. I think I just want to... I mean, honestly, I kind of want to just activate the Bankbuster. See if I draw a gas here. Okay, and I drew a go for the throw, which is pretty good. I think maybe before they get a protection spell off, I will go ahead and kill one of these. So turn here, look like I have something. Ooh, fancy lands, fancy lands. Okay, Slaughter Singer. I don't like that. It's going to give stuff +1/+1. So I would have to trade Shieldred here. This Toxic 1, so Toxic 3, go Toxic 4. I think I'm good to just take the 5. Blocking here isn't in my best interest. Okay, I went 3. My turn. I think they're dead. That's 4, 7, 8. They draw and they die. Yeah, there we go. Man, Shieldred having that hidden mode of actually being a 6/5. I do like that. Okay. So this deck is usually fast, and they just got mana screwed. So I think what we're going to do here is run the draw. So we don't want Kaido. A Spell Pierce is actually probably not very good. Bank Buster's a little slow, so I want to cut a couple at least. But I want removal spells. Probably not negate either. So we got the Anoint. Grixis command good. Brotherhood's ain't good. Focus Spirit not really good. It does it for the slow grindy cards. I don't really need the grindy cards. I just need the stuff that blows things up. So I like those cards. Soul Transfer, and there's another good removal spell. If I had to add cards back in, I mean the Bank Buster we saw at least could trade. So I'm not opposed to that. That's actually really nice. So if these are the cards I have, I had to add one more card back. Let's add a. I don't think I want a 6 drop in this matchup. Let's keep a Spell Pierce, because I believe they should have a Skrell's Hive, and it might be relevant. So let's do that. I have not played this actual matchup in a long time, so it's been cool. The ladder for standard is very diverse. I've actually enjoyed this format a lot more than I thought I would. I have removal spells. I have things that do stuff. I'm about it. So let's Rot Priest. Okay, so that's a little gross. It's not a whole lot we can do about it. They have Rot Priest protection spell. Not thrilled, but what deals with Rot Priest really well is just playing creatures. I mean, just play stuff that blocks. So I don't think they're flush with removal. So I'm pretty content to. I think just put creatures on the battlefield. I believe this is the correct play. We'll see if I'm wrong. And there's probably some pump spells here, I would imagine. But currently they have no lands that make a colored mana, which I think is probably to my benefit. Yeah, I'll trade, sure. Okay. Another one, okay. I will see that, and let's just Corpse Praise. Let's take that one. Let's find. Oh, okay. So we haven't found a land. So I think we're gonna take it. Go for the throat. So another removal spell. Maybe I take the. It's probably a while before I ever would want to play a Fable, since I have so many other cards. So I think to go for the third's correct. My opponent is missing some lands. Okay. I am also missing some lands. So I think the play here is to just jam another one of these. My Kingdom for a land. I won't take the standards line, sure. And we just hold off. Like, being able to block here is just so good. Okay, that's something that needs to die immediately. Okay, so I have 5 mana here, so okay. Things that need to die. First things first, let's probably, so I don't max out on the poison I have to take, let's do this. Okay, I'll go to 2 poison, that's fine. And then we will braid this. And then I think we're just holding down the fort. Okay. Another Skrelv. Okay, cut down is a very good draw there. Let's just cut down the Skrelv. I want to attack with one Corpse Appraiser since I'm going to play a Blood Tide Harvester here. Okay, we're getting in. Blood Tide Harvester. Now we're just going to hold it and make disappear since they're very stuck on lands. I imagine they have some Phyrexian Contaminators. With their Belated Contaminator, I think it's Belated Contaminator. But right now, make disappear looks like a very good counterspell. And it's just my opponent's. Okay, Crawling Chorus. Yeah, let's just counter. Okay, Fable, very good draw there. Let's send 2. See if they start thinking about trading anything off yet. Okay, play this, and end of turn. If I get this to flip and I just start eating all of their creatures, life gets very good. Also, I can use this to. I don't have a creature to buy back. Ooh, but I can use the Blood Tide and buy it back. It's going to be a pretty nice blowout if I can use this like that. But also, I'm talking big game. My opponent hasn't made any land drops, but has cast, 1, 2, 6 spells. So, definitely lined up better against the aggro deck. 2 lands, Harvester on the draw. Oh, I can't even cast the Harvester. This is an easy mulligan. Okay, we have lands and spells. I like this. We'll keep. Actually, I think I'm kind of content not knowing if Blade Coil is going to be any good to put that back. But I do like the idea of hitting my land drops. Okay, if this is. Actually, just going to play the Shooting Reef. If I'm in the mirror, then Spell Pierce could be very good here. Okay, this is not the mirror. Okay, but I do have all my lands to cast this Invoke Despair, so that's probably good. Okay, we'll Spell Pierce that. So far, I think my opponent is straight Rakdos. The Rakdos matchup is interesting. It's definitely speculated that the Rakdos deck is a very fast version of what the Grixis deck is. I'm going to say no blocks here. Let's go 13 here. Is this shielded? It's probably shielded. My opponent went Blood Tithe. Okay, so no shielded. But also no counter spells. So I'm good to Loot Away and Island. Actually, I don't know if my opponent has Transmograte mains, so let's Loot Away a Sulphurous Springs. Okay, got a Shipwreck Marsh. My opponent blew it up. Nope. Okay. So I'm going to get to just cast Invoke Despair here, which seems pretty good. So let's play Swamp, cast Invoke Despair. Knowing my opponent doesn't have blue mana, it does a lot of good things for my self-esteem, I think. My opponent fires back with an... Okay, this is Jund. Whoa. Okay. I changed my mind. There's a lot going on here. This deck has layers. Okay, well they're going to draw 1 card. I'm going to take 2. That seems fair. Let's... I don't know what land I want to play, so sure, I'll go to 10. Let's take Blood Tide Harvester. What can we get here? Make Disappear in case they want to cast another Invoke Despair I like. So we'll play Shipwreck Marsh here. Okay, they can... That's fine. That's fine. That's not fun. Glissa could definitely carry the game away. Just such a good card. Let's play the. I don't think my opponent has any transmogrants, so I'm actually cool to play Stormcarp Coast here, and I'll probably cycle Xander's Lounge, potentially cast to make disappear here. Trespasser has good targets. Let's coordinate cycle here. Maybe I find a removal spell here. No. Okay, so yeah, sure. Trespasser's good. Can I draw a magic card here? A blank. No. Actually, I feel like I'm very dead. But we'll see. Well, I'm gonna take. I have one creature. Let's Blood Tide Harvester. Guaranteed to take 6 here. I have to find something good. I imagine they take their creature mine, put me a 3. Okay, did not. They're good with just putting me a 4. They don't cast. Okay. Well, that seems good. So we'll take Glissa and maybe find Gas, find Shieldred. Okay. Don't hate this. Maybe I want to play Fable instead, though. I can play Fable, and if they have like a removal spell, I can just negate. Because Unleash the Inferno just kills Shieldred. So that's maybe I just die. I don't know. Let's make him have it. I'm a firm proponent for make your opponent have it. That's going to go back to daytime. They have the Unleash. Tear Asunder. Interesting. Okay, I think I'm dead. Okay, I'm just dead. Because they attack, they're going to get a trigger. Okay. Jund mid-range. Mid-range cards. All my mid-range cards are good. This is good, since I think my deck's pretty teched for this way. Cutdown's bad. Spell Pierce, I think I'll keep it on play. I like the one Braid. I mean, everything they have, I basically saw was 3 toughness. So those cards are good. Maybe I'm not so into the negate. Maybe I like the negates more than the make disappears. So let's go 2 negates. Let's play Soul Transfer. Let's add. I don't know if I want to add a Blade Coil Serpent, especially since they have like Besage You. Siphon Insights seem like they could be really good though. Maybe I only want those in the draw. Let's put Blade Coil Serpent in. We just cut the Spell Pierce. I'm gonna play. Let's put it make disappear back, and let's play. Write in a Soul Transfer. Let's play. Duress seems okay. Especially since they have. Oh, there's a lot going on there. I think Duress is fine now. Yeah. Let's do that. I think I want to make disappears when I go to like cut the Blood Tide Harvesters. Be on the play. We have cards. This hand desperately needs a 3rd land drop, or it does almost nothing. But it is otherwise so good. Kind of I I feel like mulliganing is almost just like throwing such a good hand away. But let's just keep it. I know this hand does a lot of good stuff, so I'm just gonna have to believe, I think. Okay, we've got a Sheevin Reef, that's what I'm talking about. You hold up, go for the third Warning Gate this turn. I think we let the Blood Tide Harvester resolve. I think I just want to Corpse Appraise that. Yeah, I think the plan is just going to be to Corpse Appraise that to keep churning through the deck, especially to guarantee I make land drops. Especially after seeing that I drew a 6-drop. Okay, putting 2 shielders in the graveyard feels so bad. But yeah, we have to take the land here. I cannot afford to take a second shieldred. Okay, that's Glissa. First Strike, Death Touch is a lot of keywords. Let's see here. I can't just let Glissa kill me. I wonder. I kind of like firing off the dress here. What's in the hand? A removal spell. Okay, so I know that when I play my Shieldred, it's probably solid. Just go no attacks, and I'll trade off here. Okay, there's the Trespasser. And First Strike, Death Touch, what a keyword. Okay, that's my question. Do I trade here? Combat damage to a player, draw a card, lose a life, destroy, move up to 3 counters from target permanent. Do I just take 3? Let them draw. I think that's probably okay. I think it's gonna have to be okay. Gonna have to pretend it's okay. Okay, I have a 5th land. Okay, we're just gonna do this and pass the turn. Okay, this is probably okay. It's probably them looking for the removal spell. I think I just let them keep drawing with Glissa as well. Okay. Seems reasonable. Do we have the soul transfer? Okay, Takanuma. Okay, finds a copy of Glissa. First Strike, Death Touch is still some keywords, so sure. You want to draw, lose a life. Draw, lose 3 life. Draw, lose 3 life seems like a lot. If I draw a land here, I can basically run them out of cards. Or sort of. Let's see, if I did this, and I went black, black, I have 4 black, and then probably I don't worry about drawing the card. Maybe just hold it in a gate for the removal spell. I think I do that. I do that because they need the removal spell, so I'm just gonna go no attack. If they don't have a removal spell here, they're having a bad time. Let's just counter that. Can't let that resolve if they're a plus. So, Bank Buster, okay. I give very little care about that. You know, I'd probably just let them kill the Bank Buster here. And the Fable. Like, I don't know that I need this Fable to win, so let's just no block it. Yep. What are you gonna do? You gonna blow up the enchantment? Okay. I respect it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go 7, 8. Why don't I just slam this for... Do I just go blue, 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 black? I think I'd run them out of cards in hand. It's probably correct. So black, 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 and then maybe I just go red, red. Oh, I can't go red, red. So we'll go blue, blue. And then we'll go X is 0. Mind Rot, draw a card. Okay. It's not miserable. I'll probably hold that mountain for now. Just go no attack. Don't think that's a whole lot I'm worried about at this point. Okay, recycling, recycling. Going to 3. Fable's fine. Okay. Definitely not concerned about that. Draw a card, destroys an enchantment, removes counters from something. I think I'm just gonna no block it, sure. If they draw a card, they go to 0. So you cannot draw. Okay, I guess they realized they didn't have up to 3 counters. Do they want to take the lore counter off the Fable? Just make a goblin every turn? That's definitely interesting. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I think we will. I think we go for the third this. Discard that. Go combat. Just send the Blade Coil Serpent. Woof. They can only block with 2 things. No, they're dead. They are dead. They only have 2 blockers. Sometimes finding lethal's hard. This isn't the Grixis mirror, but Jun mid-range. Definitely interesting to see. Okay. They saw the line. Okay, so we're on the draw. And here I think we're cutting Blood Tithe. And I think we keep Duress. Let's bring in Siphon Insight. And all their creatures are 3 drops. I actually think I bring in the Brotherhoods in. And we are... Don't think Grixis Command's where I want to be. On the draw, your creatures are mostly Blood Tithe Harvesters. So maybe a cut down is okay. Okay, so hold on, I have to cut Kaidos. The 3 drops. I like an with Affliction. That's actually pretty good. Let's play a Soul Transfer. Did I see a lot of 4s? But I would imagine it. Like I said, like Unleash the Inferno, that's just something I can negate. Like Disappear is probably less good. We'll just play the 3rd negate. I don't think we're gonna mess around with any of these like mid removal spells, and I'm just gonna, or like even these like really intermediate counters. Even though maybe we need one of them. But now that I've taken account of what we're doing here, let's play. One make disappear is fine. I think I have enough removal spells that I don't really care to play the cut down over the make disappear. But, you know, maybe I do. So, let's do that. Okay, let's see if I can siphon some insight and get some really nice spells off my opponent here. I see 3 lands. I mean, Corpse Praiser and Soul Transfer is kind of a nombo, but I think it'll be fine. It has Duress turn 1. Okay, probably takes in. Okay, takes the Fable. Probably correct. Okay, I'm gonna get to play the Bank Buster that they don't know about. Okay, and they're gonna play the Bank Buster that I also don't know about. Huh. Okay, let's hope we don't see an Abrade this turn. Okay. Okay, Fable. That's not what I really wanted to see. Let's play the Swamp they know about. They could cast an Invoke here, but honestly, I don't think I'm really that concerned. I'm just gonna keep drawing cards, discarding cards. Okay, so they kept 5. That says a lot about their. Well, they didn't. I mean, they just didn't do anything here. It says a lot about their hand. Okay, is this Shieldred? Perhaps. I'm gonna have to soul transfer the Shieldred here. Do they have the answer for the Bank Buster? Okay, alright, well, I'm gonna draw a card here, I guess. Seems like the only responsible thing to do. Okay, I have a Blade Coil Serpent I can eventually draw too. Don't hate that. Okay, well now I have a Siphon Insight, and I think I'm content to just hold that up. Okay. I think I'm gonna need my 4th land, I mean my 5th land, and I need it to be. Okay, so if we get creature and enchantment, maybe I still just have to deal with Shieldred. Oh, am I gonna hold 6 here? I'm holding 6. Oh. It's not ideal. Land. Okay, so I go for the threat there. I'll probably actually just go ahead and use. Using their removal spell there actually feels pretty nice. I actually think I need to hit their Shieldred and hope to make a land drop. Why are none of these lands? That's pretty bad. Don't think I take negate. I think I just end up taking another Corpse Appraiser. Maybe I'll just take the negate. Let's take the negates. I don't know, just dump those. Not hitting that land drop is brutal. Okay, I hit the Liliana there, which also feels bad. Try Corpse Appraiser. Okay, let's see the making treasures for days here, I guess. Okay, they're gonna do. They have a 3-drop they can cast. Could that be also brutal? All right, black land. Black land. Okay, cool. I'm actually just gonna take my 3 for 1 and go home. Okay, answered everything. Excellent. Okay. Not enough mana to do a lot of things, but think. Okay. Draw a card. Also struggling with land drops. Okay. I think I play Bank Buster here, and then hold up all mana or other cards. So. This is what they're gonna tear asunder. I think I allow it. So what's that? Is that I've seen? Okay, so tear asunder 2 Bank Busters. I don't know how many Terra Sunders they play in the deck, but it seems like I've seen a decent amount, I would hope. Okay. Man, this mid-range matchup, like those land drops really do matter so much. I think negating here is correct. Unless they follow it with Fable. Okay, and we made a land drop. And I think... Ooh, okay, do I do that and hit my opponent for a lot? I think the answer is I want to be able to do this for more than that. So I think I pass, pull up Siphon Insight, and go for the throat. Capricious Hellraiser, okay. Resolves. I'm gonna do this, I think. I love this card. I talked about this card in the intro. This is it's very cool, but also sometimes you just get this. And they probably should have just crewed. I think they're gonna get a Fable out of this, which is pretty good. Could definitely be worse. Okay, I'll let that resolve. And then pass to attackers, and let's get your next card. Lands, okay, land's fine. I think I can get 1, 2, 3, 4. Hitting 6 black mana here is actually pretty important. So black, 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 black. Go 6. Register Invoke Despair here. I think, no, let's just kind of Invoke Despair and just clean stuff up. It's probably correct. Okay. Alright, that's fine. I can just Invoke Despair for the next million turns, I think. Okay, well that hurts. Okay, so the thing about Invoke Despairing for the next million turns, not going to work if I'm at 1. My life total gets so low. I'm trying to remember what was killing me, I guess. Enemy creatures. I have a Hellraiser. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think having a blocker is going to be important. Because Invoke Despairing my opponent, I don't think gets me very far. But I don't know if they don't have exactly Terra Sunder. 1, 2, 3. How many creatures I can get back here? I guess I'm eventually going to be able to do that. Let's do this. Yeah, let's just see if I can maximize what I can play this turn. This lands. Okay. Okay. That's all I got. Yeah, I don't think, like, these were maybe high upside, but okay. That Glissa, do you have kill spell for Corpse Raiser? Dadgummit. Okay, that's a good game. We're here for round 3 against Mighty Max the Third. I'm on the play. This is great. I don't know if I've seen a better hand. Like, we've got kill spell, Bank Buster. Like, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4. I love it. And my opponent mulliganed. Okay. This could mean a lot of things. Not entirely sure what that is though, but sure. This could be Esper. This could be Soldiers. Okay, just playing a Bank Buster and passing. Do I play Kaido and start trying to get value here? I think I can just draw from Bank Buster and actually be better off this turn. And hold the cut down. As a possible alternative. What plays these lands and Bank Busters? Just a control deck? Just some kind of a Traxa list? do not know. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Um, this makes me think counterspell, so just gonna pass the turn, I think. I really gotta note what this opponent is doing. Okay, another Grixis land. Grixis lands with this permutation is just so interesting. Okay, so got this. Okay, well, I'm doing really good at drawing Invoke Despair, I think. Let's just try to draw the last one. I've managed to draw lots of the cards in my deck, which is pretty crazy. I think. I mean, I guess I just play into counterspell here. I think I'd rather it be the Kaido. I wonder if they even think it's worth countering. I just need to see what this deck is. Like, I have no idea. Okay. Okay. So yes, this is the Jeskai control deck, I think. That I'm pretty sure it top aided the Ottawa RC. I remember this disruption protocol that this is basically counterspell if you have an artifact in play, so it's pretty cool. This cut down's not doing a whole lot for me though. Bank Buster, okay. Let's see if having my Bank Buster in play, with every intention of attacking with it, is going to be worth my while. Okay. No counters. They're trying to draw something. I think I'm going to play Fable here. We'll see if that gets countered. Okay, resolves. I like that. I like that. Also, it means I don't have to discard the hand size, which I'm also a fan of. And if this Fable can do its thing, I can pitch these cut downs. Secrets of the Key, okay. Just making clues. More ways to draw cards. It's gotta be good, I guess. At some point, I'm just gonna have to force my opponent to have a million counter spells, but it's interesting spot to be in for sure. Okay, here I am. I'm pitching the cut downs. Okay, we have our braids. And I go for the throat, which isn't very good. Let's crew. I guess I need to see my opponent use some mana before I can start just firing things off. Okay, so they're going to use the Fires of Victory there. And not pay the kickers, so they're just going to deal 4. Okay. Seems fun. Let's get in there. If they pay to... They pay, make the pilot block, maybe think I miss it. I think we just play the Blood Tide Harvester. And then just have these up. I want to end the turn here. They're gonna pop this one, but I think in response to them popping this one, I'm gonna braid this one so they can't draw any cards. We're gonna destroy this artifact. Okay, so yes, you have a pilot. So I think I don't know what creatures this deck has. Probably Sanctuary Warden. We're on the same note. I think that just means I just want to go for the third this. Does my opponent think it is worthwhile? Okay. Oh, okay. Cool. Did they crack the clue? Nope. I just need to make sure my opponent didn't have a way to crew this Bankbuster and start trying to attack me. That would be obnoxious. Okay, so I see 6 lands. I mean, the creature I think this deck plays is Sanctuary Warden. That would make sense to me. Okay, just passing the turn. Okay, we're gonna flip. I think we just serve. So maybe the card is the Wandering Emperor. Maybe they have some number of those. But okay, seems probably fine. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, makes a samurai. So I'm gonna trade the samurai. Okay, so we're taking a positive block here. Okay, and I don't know what my opponent really has in hand, but it makes me want to just play the Shielded here. There's a Disruption Protocol. I'll just make this appear, I can pay for it. Okay, so it's that. Okay, that's fine. Turn, sure. I think I'd rather that than have my Invoke Distress get countered. Sahelian, okay. Seems pretty good. Alright. Okay, making all the critters. So see 3 mana up. Okay, tap land. That seems good. Alright, none of the cards that they have on board right now draw cards, which I feel really good about. Okay, and they're going to let me untap with this Reflection, which seems good, I think. So I'm going to make a copy of this. Unless they blow me out and find like destroy that. Okay, they don't. Okay. So I would like to. I don't really care about your little creatures. Saheli's probably the most annoying, so let's just send the house. Make a bunch of treasures. I'm worried that this card is Disruption Protocol. Like I said, I don't want to just send one of these cards into just being gone. Okay, they're gonna crew. I think I like the crew option here. Okay. What we got? 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Okay, they're gonna trade off. That's gonna die. Oh, so I shouldn't have attacked the original. That was dumb. If this is not, yeah, I think that's appropriate just to do that. Okay, they're clicking. Just probably a good sign. No way this is the third disruption protocol. Maybe it's a make disappear. I guess I only have 4 mana in that case, so. Okay, Crack's Clue. Okay, this is good. I'm gonna get a deal 2. I mean, they can't just for 1 mana have a way to counter this. Spell Pierce, okay, I'm gonna pay 2 mana, I guess, so. Blue. Resolve. Auto pay. So I'm gonna get Saheeli. One of these creatures. Okay. I will play the Shooting Reef. I'm in the turn. Okay. So I don't have another creature here. So, but if I find anything to pair, it's probably pretty good. Flame Blast Bolt. Rude. Okay. Honestly, this is probably just it. I just want to protect that. Okay, didn't think so. Okay. Shield Rip. Okay. And clues. Crack one of them, probably. Okay. Okay. Now I've got a Shield Rip that's going to stick. So I'm just going to turn here. Okay. Probably pretty close to outer removal spells. Or at least out from what they could draw. I mean, they're 20 cards deep, 21 cards. They've drawn a lot of cards. Definitely had to get Saheeli off the board though, so I timed that pretty well. Any counters have I seen? 2 disruption and spell pierce. Alright, drawing again. Okay. Going to 5. Okay. So choose 2, not a draw, so definitely better for them. Okay, you have anything for 3 mana in these colors? A Braid, okay, sure. Flame Blast Bolt, okay, well, I think this just means I win, but this is fine. Because they're tapped out, this steals 6, so. GG. Alright, cool. The game 1 versus control. Gotta love how long that lasts. Alright, let's look at all the cards I've got. My opponent has like no creatures, so bad. These are good cards for like long grindy matchups, so I like that. Cut downs. Probably bad. Spell Pierce seems good. I like the Disdainful Stroke. Gates are good. Duress is good. Soul Transfer kills Planeswalkers. Siphon Insight is probably a better value than what I have currently. Kite on the draw isn't really where I want to be. A Braid I think is good. I think we could go for the Throat. I don't think I need to cut another one of those for Brotherhood's End. I mean, my opponent at one point had, I think it was only ever 1 Bank Buster. Oh, 2. Okay. So I could maybe get value out of Brotherhood's End, but I don't think that's correct. Maybe on the draw I want to do that, but I don't think I want to do that on the play. I think in the meantime, I mean, I have a feeling there's some big creature I'm going to need this for that they might juke into. So let's do that. And yeah, Corpse Praiser I just don't think is the right card. All of these counter spells I think are fine. Just verifying they had no creatures. And yeah, sure. I think between Blood Tithe Harvesters and this setup, I could probably get it done. So let's take a crack at it. And if not, you know, I get to come back on the play, which I definitely feel good if I get to be on the play with that. This is a matchup where I do. I actually feel really favored as Grixis in the control like deck mirror. Two bank busters. I have two lands, but I'm on the draw, so I'll probably have two lands before they can do this. I kind of think I would need a hand that's a little more land heavy. Two bank busters seems really good though. I think I miss a land drop in this hand. I'm pretty doomed, but you know, I like no. I talked myself into it. I could draw lands. My opponent's on 5. I think this is 5. Not sure of how to like tell what my opponent was mulliganing to. Arena, it doesn't give you the little tracker that I know of. Okay, Multa 4. Wow. Okay. Kind of want to hit him with a oops. Okay, so Shipwreck Marsh. Okay, drawing Siphon Insight I think is good, because if I can use it to hit land drops, it's pretty busted. I think I want to go ahead and... Honestly, I think I just pass the turn. Because I have Negate, I have my land drop, so this could be good. Let's just, sure, see if I can negate it. Let's see if they spell pierce this. If they spell pierce this, I'd probably feel okay about it. That means they used everything to make this Bank Buster resolve. And honestly, I think I just abrade it right here. If they just did everything to make sure that that resolved, that's really important. So, okay. Got lands. We'll do this, and I'm just gonna pass. I'm just gonna expose my Bank Buster. Having two Bank Busters though does feel really good right now. So it seems like a really good spot to be in. Do they counter the Siphon here? Okay, they did. Okay. Okay. Probably don't have a second counter spell, but I'd like to do a little check here. Let's take the Stormcraft Coast because it's actually in my colors, so that's pretty decent. I don't think they have the counter spell here, so let's Blood Tide Harvester. Let's just see if I can start getting in 3 damage at a time here. Land go, so let's land get in there. By land I mean don't play land. Bank Buster. Okay, and I'll pass the turn here. I don't want to be able to activate and I don't want to leave myself up. Okay, my opponent I think has action. Did not play a land, so they have to have spells in hand. But I mean, they, for Mold 4, I mean, they've made it decently far into the game, I would say. So let's just get this attack here. Fable. Okay. Okay. Make a clue. Make. Okay, they cracked the clue here. They're gonna try to find a counter spell. They probably want it. Okay, it resolves. Sweet. So turn. I think I'm very much in control. This is just like going through the motions. We're just following through, doing the right thing at the right time. Sure. Okay, played land. Probably. I'm not sure if this is land or another spell, but they're definitely going to always hold priority because the secret's are the key. Okay, so we drew a land. Okay, we have a make disappear, so this is good. I feel like at this point, I don't know if I discard anything. Like, I think I just submit 0. Because my hand has so much gas. Like, I really just don't want to play the Shieldred until I think they're really just out of gas. Don't think I lose anything, because if I cast this, I can activate both. So, okay, make the rest of your clues. Yeah, I don't think I care about the clues as much as I care about putting the Bank Busters into play. And that's probably a clean window to resolve Shieldred, but I think there's just no reason to expose Shieldred at this point. I have a second Shieldred. I mean, they're holding priority, but I think it's just the clues. Okay. Do they want to cast something on tapped out? Okay. Flipping that. I'll play the Haunted Bridge. I want to crew. This is the Wandering Emperor. I'll just sack this pilot, I think. Okay, no, so just drawing cards. I'm coming in for a casual 7. Honestly, I don't know if I play anything. Like, the game is just basically over. I can hold up, make disappear, and activate a Bank Buster if I do this. Let's do that. Like, I just have not needed Shieldred. But also my draw, like, I hit the lanes I needed. Feel pretty good in general about where everything's going. So turn here. Can make disappear, can activate Bank Buster. 3, depopulate. Do you want to casualty? Sacking that. Do you want to pay 4 for that? Hey, we got there. Okay. So I think this deck hummed. No card looked bad. I think I brought in every card in the sideboard at least once. The Amount of Affliction definitely came up against Toxic. Like, just having something that I knew that could kill a 3-drop regardless. I mean, that was really good. Kaido's did work, I think, in a couple of matches. Yeah, I feel like these numbers are really good. Even though I think the second Blade Coil Serpent, I think, is my 3rd Siphon Insight in paper. These are the cards that I think are going to come in and I think have a decent showing.